Sup, folks? How's everybody doing? Hey, Game Boy Z. How are you? So, this is the thing that we've been working on the last couple of streams, and yeah, let's just dive in and fine-tune things a little bit. What I've done is I've dropped a couple of cue markers. So I know where areas that I think are... Thank you. Sounds pretty good. Thank you, you know, VR. Areas which I know like could maybe be refined a little bit. And I think here we could also do some kind of like fill thing here. Could be pretty cool. Hello Ganja Naut. Daniel Snailbird, how's everyone doing? We could do some kind of drop fill thing here as well. I've been thinking we can try to do a couple of more sound effecty type synth things here. Maybe explore the JE8086 a little bit, because that seems to be super popular at the moment. A lot of people really like the video that I made on it. Let's see. Man, this hotkey thing is going to be the death of me. Why can I not change? Is it Control Shift? No, Alt Shift. Is it just Alt? It's Control Shift. Weird. Okay. There, it feels like that lead kind of builds up to something, and it like implies that there should be something on the one there. So I kind of just put in a cue point, and we can put something in there. Oops. I already discussed how to make the init patch, but it's pretty weird because some parameters still don't seem to change. So it helps to then go into the performance and actually switch them both to the actual init patch. Pretty strange. Cool. There we go. That's pretty sick, like a reverse pitch shift. The JE8086 and Astralis have been my favorite synths lately. I really like this one, even though it's quite quirky with the presets and that kind of thing. just because it kind of has these limitations, and it kind of always just leads you to specific classic sounds, you know what I mean? Like saw wave squelch, super saw. Whereas often when there's too many options, which I mean is a good thing if you're kind of just sound designing and going wild, but sometimes when there's too many options, you can kind of run into option paralysis, where it's like, what mode of oscillator do I put in now? What, you know? Whereas sometimes being limited here is like, you have these options, just make them sound as good as you can, you know? Yeah, the chorus is really awesome. And also when you boost this treble, it does something, it kind of like saturates it a little bit or something. It sounds really good. Sounds like a war trumpet or something. So sick. You know what? I'm going to quickly render a chunk of this out, and we can just slap it in the intro as like the starting sound thing. Let's also make a variation that's the octave higher, it also sounded pretty cool. Then we can just choose between them. Damn, that does sound pretty good. We can maybe see what happens if we layer it, like the high one and the low one. this feedback oscillator in here is really, really good as well. Kind of weird. I think it's FM, not too sure though. It's only really like at that low pitch where it gets that crazy metallic texture. I guess the trick then is to just like do a low pitch, but then just EQ all the lows out. We can do that. Sounds good. Moving the chair. What's that drum and bass meme where like the bass, the guys are like moving the chair to like recreate the sound of the bass? This one's a little crazy, so I think we gotta use it in moderation. So I think what we do is we just bounce out like a part of it, and we choose the best part and just put that in where we need. So like here, we could just take just like one beat of it. Wait, is that 4 beats or 1 beat? 4 beats of it. And just use it like as a transition into the bar. Did they change the hotkey now? Here, it's Control Alt now. That's strange. I'm sure it was just Alt before. Hey, Dub Raja, how's it going? It's weird. There's this. I think it's a bug with Valhalla Supermassive. Whereas if you could just be on Bitwig. If you copy paste an instance of it, the settings go all weird. So I've got to actually like make a preset and reload it. It's so weird. It's like so unpredictable. Like sometimes it hits the right things, sometimes it's kind of weird, and then when you turn it up, it I don't know. It seems to have changed the sound. Okay, now it's back to where it was. No, now it's weird again. It's kind of goes between brighter and not too bright. It's probably something to do with like phase reset in the synth, like not being tired like every time you hit the note, and obviously because it's such a low pitch, there's like weird modulation stuff happening. Hey, Psyda, how you doing, dude? I'm like thinking way ahead of what we actually need for this part of the track. I'm like trying to write a main lead, but we just need some kind of squelchy thing, I think. Hey Pilot Gundama. Maybe if it's just like a basic squelchy thing, maybe we should do it in Serum, because I feel like we can draw the curves and stuff a little bit more accurately there. Add track. I need an update. Can you believe it? I've like just been clicking for the longest time. I think I'm still on 2.0.0 or the first update from there. I think what could be cool is to somehow plan it so that it's like a squelch that then morphs into more of a other lead type thing, like a squelch into a sweep. So let's see. Let's start with LFO. Let's draw in a nice curve. We probably want to go to like halfway, and then the rest of we will kind of like then it will become the static pitch, like the root note of the track. And then from there we'll do like a filter sweep or something like that. So here we want to put this onto coarse pitch, but then Alt Shift so that it's just unipolar, it's not bipolar, so that it lands on the root note here. Yeah, that sounds about right. I think we need just a little bit more pitch shift at the beginning, so I'm going to assign an envelope here. Unipolar. Okay, that's too much. You know, we should do this in Serum because here we have send returns. So we can potentially put the delay here. Ping pong. But then I think the wider might then make it mono again. And then, because I don't want the squelch to go through the delay. I only want like that tail sound to go through the delay. So let's rather use an LFO and then send it like this into that delay, but using an LFO. So let's time it the same as this one. 1 bar, envelope, and then let's just do something like this. So it'll do the squelch and then boom, it'll turn up the send. Cool. Let's link these, turn this up. Mix should be on 100% if we're doing send return stuff. Yes, that sounds good. think we need some kind of like splash effect or something. Let's go with a clap, and we can just put a lot of EQ on there and a lot of reverb on there. And then another EQ afterwards. HY Slicer, I do not have that plugin. I do not, unfortunately. Anybody been to Azora? Oh, I wish, dude. I wish. That would be amazing. Hey, Matthias, thank you. Appreciate that. In Toko, needs more notes on that arp from the drop. Do you mean... excuse me. Do you mean like this progression here? Because that's the exact feeling that you got to make the listener want. Do you know what I mean? You've got to give them a little bit of the source and then take it away so that they're like, it needs more, and then you drop it back in again, because there it is. So the trick is like you like show what's coming and then drop it into something simple, and the listener's like, but it needs more, and then you build up to that more. So it's like they almost expected it. So it's like it's a payoff for the listener, if you know what I mean. And the other cool thing, or the reason that I chose to do it like this method, is that it almost sounds, because this switches from like a full bar of progression, it switches to 6 beats in a bar, and that kind of implies a similar rhythm to most of the delays that I've been using in the track. So it kind of sounds like it's delaying off, if that makes sense. So it's like, and combined with the filter movement going down, it almost feels like the lead is kind of like delaying off and then comes back as like the full thing. think we put that squelch in here, like, as this lead is kind of like decaying out with the filter, we drop that squelch in there. That's good, man. That's what I was hoping for. Actually, I don't think I made this particular lead on stream. This is just a copy of this one, and then with Filterverse with a preset Electric Shock. Dean, sup, dude? Okay, folks, just give me a sec. I'm gonna grab a refill and run to the bathroom. I will put this on loop and see you guys in a minute or two. I forgot about this like war horn sound. Hey, thanks, Dean, dude. Appreciate that. You guys are amazing. Thank you. Thank you for the super chats. Appreciate that. Just received Waldorf protein. Been waiting since December. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good for its size. I won't lie. Sounds pretty good too. I wanted to start working on some kind of like drum loop type thing that we can incorporate in some of the more minimal parts in the track, as both as like a percussion element, but also as like a transitionary element. I think could be really cool. Moon vibes, thank you, appreciate that. reference. W sound. The answer to your question, I think, is like just reference. Just go back and listen to like your favorite tunes, compare them, or work on 2 tracks at once, because then like you go back to the other one and you're like, whoa, okay, wait, what was happening here? Why does this one sound so bright compared to that one? And then you adjust both of them. You know what I mean? Moon Vibes. Thanks. Appreciate that. Glad to help. What if we tried that technique for the Spangle style drums here? I think it's this one. Damn, that sounds great. Haha. Schleppen. Can you make any point? Can you make or point me to a strong argument on Ableton versus Bitwig? I guess it's such a vast topic. For me, I guess the main thing is the customizability of Bitwig is so much more than that of Ableton. I'm not sure if it's kind of changed because I think I'm still on Ableton Live 11. I don't use it too much anyway. I have it, but I don't use it too much. The other big thing for me is obviously I know Live Suite has the Max for Live, but here we have grids, which I find a little bit more effective in learning how modular systems work. I find that Max for Live is a bit of a departure from traditional modular systems. There's a lot of stuff in there that's pretty weird. It doesn't make sense to traditional, so like the knowledge that you gain from Max for Live, you can only really apply to Max for Live. Whereas with the grid, there is stuff you can learn there that you can apply to actual modular synthesis or VCV rack or traditional sound design purposes, or you can take an idea and directly recreate it very easily without having to learn about how, like, the programming side of Max for Live, which is a bit of a pain in the butt. So let me show you a quick example. Let's make what should we make? Option paralysis. Let's just make like a simple arpeggiator, because I can show you the power of like all the systems together, if you know what I mean. So we can just take this. Let's actually use this drum loop because I dig it. So let's go add track, instrument track, and say polygrid. Hey, no worries, dude. No worries. I mean, it could lead to something cool, so inspiration flows from anywhere. So the cool thing here is that we have 3 different types of grid, right? Note grid, polygrid, and effects grid. They each are designed for their specific task. However, that being said, is you're not limited to only doing note stuff here and only doing effects here. You can build your entire thing in just one of them, if you know what I mean. So we can do arpeggiators, effects, and everything directly here in one instance. So again, it kind of goes back to what I was saying about like learning one thing and applying it to many different things. I find like the knowledge gained in the grid is much more effective if sound is your thing. Obviously, there's a programming side to Max for Live, which is brilliant to know. But I feel like this is more soundy and musical. I hate using the adjective musical, but do you know what I mean? So it gives us a basic setup here when we open the patch, just like a saw wave and a pluck. And we can do all sorts of things, like if we want to create an FM, we can just route this into this, and now it's FM. We can do like however many voices of FM we want. We just do it like that. And it's super simple, just like this kind of layout, being able to see what's going on, very visual, super effective learning tool. But yeah, back to the task at hand. Let's create like a simple arpeggiator. So let's build a way of triggering it. So let's go with gates for now. And here we're going to set this to send into the yellow thing here. Yellow usually means like a gate or trigger or something like that, right? And here we want to set this to mute when stopped, so we can play and pause it. Okay, cool. So now let's set this off. So what this is it's called a pre-chord, and it means that when we play the note, it'll automatically switch, right? The key of the track is oh, well, you know what? We can actually just yeah, anyway, never mind. We can just set it up here. So let's go pitch. Use this pitch input here, and let's just set this to a G and send this in here and set this to 120. I think it's like 100%. And so now it's going to play a G. There's various different modes here we can choose. Gates, pulse, and trigger. Gates, basically, if there are... Hey, Zenline, how's it going? Only an hour and a half. Gates basically means it's going to send a full square wave for all these subsequent binary ons or offs. So this will be a square wave like this, so it'll only trigger once, right? But if we wanted to pulse, it's going to trigger all 4 of these. Do you know what I mean? Okay, so another cool thing here is that all of the modules are kind of banked together, so we can right click one of them and it'll show us all of the modules that are kind of similar. Do you know what I mean? So we can choose stuff that's like similar. For example, probabilities is pretty cool because this gives us the ability to, like, every step it's going to run through like a probabilistic equation, like 50% chance that it's going to play a note or 20% chance, if you know what I mean. So that's really cool for kind of like more generative rhythms. Okay, so I was explaining the pre-chord thing here, but we also have this, on all the sequences, you have this purple pre-chord, which is the phase input. So phase in the grid is not like phase in a synth. It's more like where it is in the sequence. So if you want multiple sequences together, it's a good idea to use a transport, because then we can just link them all together this way, and also choose like our clock here, right? So because we have 8 steps, we want to set this to 8/16ths. So it's going to loop 8/16ths. So now we're going to have it on the 16th note. And okay, so let's do pitch. So data steps. Let's use a steps here, and we can use this as a way of controlling the pitch of our sequence. So what we want to do here is, because we still want the pitch to be based on G, we want to use an add. So it's literally just like this plus this. And so it's going to be like the root note, which is G, plus whatever modulation is being applied to it, and then sent here, right? So it's a good idea to quantize, because what quantize does is basically allows us to put in a scale, and then any notes that go through here are going to be linked to that scale. So we can actually just clean things up a little bit here like this. And then lastly, we may just want to use an attenuator that's basically just a volume. And then that controls how much pitch range we have. And another cool thing, we can go in here and we can randomize this. So that's going to basically just give us random arpeggiators. You're a wizard, Harry. And we can turn the pitch down here. So what this is, all of the oscillators and generators have this 1/1. That's the ratio of, if there's a note coming in here, it'll be the ratio of that. So we can change the octave this way. And then let's say we wanted to create some kind of like volume difference. We could just duplicate this. Hey, wait, I haven't linked this here. Like this. So it was going slightly off time. And then we need well, there's several ways of doing it. I like to use this amplitude modulator, AM, and then just put this in the chain and then send this value here. And then the volume will be based on whatever value is being sent out here. And there's also tons of filters here which we can use, like vowels. Where's the vowel filter? I guess I should just type vowel, but I can put it in here like this. And this is pretty cool because we can choose from multiple different types here. And then we have, and then each of these we can choose different vowels to sweep between. It's kind of like, Mom, we have Delay Llama at home. There's a module here called Dice, which is pretty cool because what this does is every time a gate or an up signal is received here, it generates a random value here. So we can send this here, and it's basically like a note on random in Serum. There is a way to make it sound slightly more slightly more authentic delay llama. I'm going deep now. You summoned a beast here. I think, was it another amplitude modulator here, and then we use a noise input, an amplitude modulator from the oscillator. Is that it? Oh, and then you blend back in with the oscillator. So essentially, this kind of creates almost like a breathy sound, while this creates the tonal element to it. So we use a blend here to blend from like the breathy sound back to the original tone. But now say, for example, you're like, hey, wait, I don't actually want this as an arpeggiator. We could actually just remove everything here and then create an arpeggiator in the note grid, save them separately, or be able to just like play this with a keyboard, right? Which I think is probably the goal if we're making a synth. So do we want the random on the filter? Yes. So let's click like that. We want to set this to on, so the pre-chord is set to the pitch, so that we can actually change the pitch if we play it. And then this on again here. Why are we not hearing any sound? That is triggering. Oh. What was going in here again? This was the velocity. Okay, so instead of this now, we can just use the straight up velocity mult and put this here and set this to 100%. There we go. Are you trying to synthesize that classic sound of 1,000 monks? You know what could actually be interesting is to use voice stacking. So this is like the pinnacle of Bitwig grid stuff, and it's pretty advanced. But what voice stacking is duplicating the signal that's going through here, and then being able to apply different parameters to different parts of the signal. So let's say we want one sound, but with 4 voices, and each one has a slightly different filter. Then what we do is, let's turn this off for now, so there's no random, and let's use this voice stack spread modulator. So what this does is allows you to add a parameter, or add this modulator to a parameter, like the filter. And now when we play it, we're going to hear 4 voices, each with its own vowel. It's a little bit chaotic until you do some interesting things like apply it to pan. So let's drop a pan in here and let's apply this to the pan, because now we'll be able to distinctly hear those 4 voices. Do you know what I mean? You can also do other stuff like put a bit of it on like this blend, so each one is slightly different blend. We can also give it slight detuning, so each one, it's kind of faking a unison effect. That sounds pretty good. Sounds pretty good. Okay, let's do the random again. We could even do a thing where each voice has a different amount of random applied. Yeah, then like the middle one won't have any. Let's listen to what this sounds like with multiple voices, like a chord or something. Damn, that's crazy. That is crazy. Okay, give me a sec, folks. I'll be back in a moment. I just gotta go check on something. Oh, that's so sick in like the higher keys. It's kind of reminds me of Shivania, Voice of the Elves, that old school Contact patch. Let's add a gate here. We can actually sort of hard code a gate into the patch. I think that could be pretty cool. Although, do we want to do it like after the reverb? Should we do it in FX Grid? FX Grid. So this just has like input and output, but like I said, you can build like a synth here in FX Grid. And here what we want to do is probably use an AD envelope, switch off the pre-chord here, and then an AM amplitude modulator. Set the amount to 100%, and then this output here, send here. So now, anytime this is triggered, it's going to open up our gate signal. Yeah, so we hear nothing until something's triggered. Yeah, cool. And now let's add, I think probabilities could be really cool, because obviously at 100%, it definitely plays the note. So what we can do is we can kind of set up a patch where we have a distinct rhythm, and we add like things every now and then in between, if you know what I mean. I think that could be interesting. To save us some time, though, I'm just going to set this to 16, because then it's going to run at the correct time, if you know what I mean. Also, like everything here inside the patch can be linked to modulators here. So we can set up an LFO here, because Bitwig has all these like modulators. That's another cool thing about it. And you can send that to anything here in the patch as well, which I think is really cool. But here, I think what could be cool is to do like a decay, and then we randomize this until it sounds cool. So this steps is going to control like how open the gate is. Yeah, we could even literally just remake Gatekeeper by using this one, curves, which is like you can just draw this in, and then we could just send this here. We wouldn't even need the envelope and stuff. But I kind of like that, like opening and closing of an envelope, like the sound of that. I kind of like it. Hey Keith, how you doing? No, you can't. You can't load it as a plugin like you can with FL. that's sounding awesome. I'm liking that. Okay. I think that's where I need to call it for today. Yeah. I will loop this once or twice for those who want to stick around and listen to what we've made. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Thanks folks for the super chats. Really do appreciate that. And yeah, I will see you guys again soon. Cheers. Have a good weekend.